I guess it looks like we're back with a. Oh, David, what is. You've grown hair since the last time I've seen you.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's wrong. That's wrong. Let's go. I'm pissed.
Well, so yeah, it's another week, another show, and we're going to be talking about the Pretty Little Liars finale, season finale, could be series
hmm
finale, but so David, take it from here.
New week, new weeks. Okay, so it was last episode, and well, got it wrong. Got it wrong. And I'm pissed because, and I think, I'm not the only one because the ending didn't make any sense.
It didn't. I feel like the ending. I don't know where they came up with the ending. It was giving. I don't know. It was kind of giving Scream 3 revenge. So I guess technically the woman makes sense, but the male, I was just like, it's just very anticlimactic. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I would say, okay, so we finally discover who Bloody Rose is. And we got one thing right. We were saying that we're much we got two people actually working together. We got that. But even though scenes were interesting and very well shot, when we look into the ending, really we scrutinize the ending, we realize it doesn't make any sense. It's actually, even though very, very infuriating because every clue was pointing to someone else. And you felt that they actually bring that person out like last minute for some reason.
Okay, for those of you that don't want any spoilers, you might as well turn away now because I'm going to spoil it for you. Okay, have you left yet? Okay. Well,
That's okay. I think we're gone. We can forget.
Christian was not the killer who I suspected. No, apparently it was the movie theater manager. What was his name? Oh my god, I was saying his name so much yesterday and I don't even remember it. But it's just it came so out of left field. Like every clue led up to it to be Christian or at least one of the boyfriends. Let's be honest here, because the movie theater guy makes no sense. It doesn't make sense because how are you like how do you know all of this about these girls? How do you unless you're eavesdropping to I guess Tabby's conversations, but then again Tabby wasn't even talking or giving that much info leading up to it in the movie theater. Don't know what that's about. And then we get the whole thing where the guy just left randomly. He's moving to LA, because he's filming an A24 movie.
Yeah, you want to be better than Ariaster, which doesn't make any sense, but never mind.
Yeah, and like
Hey,
I said in my last in our last video, like I said, is that they were saying pretty much Christian was talking about how there's going to be like a black noir killer, black killer, final girl, everything. So it made sense for it to be him. I'm sorry, but it was not. Also, there were so many things that were unexplained in this episode. David, plot holes galore. Like, how did they get into Christian's room to put in a mask in the desk? How did they find out all this secret information about the girls? How did they get all these rose gardens from Kelly's mom's I don't know.
that's a big issue. Like this kind of show, mystery shows, we need to actually, there's one thing that you shouldn't do is to lose your viewers. For the entire show, they were really putting some clues that really brought us to actually one boyfriend, simply because everything was the killer seems to know quite a lot about these people. And the fact is, we suddenly find ourselves with someone that one was too obvious from the. We talked about her from the beginning, but we just thought to ourselves, "Oh, that's going to be too obvious. That can't be her. That's a red herring." But it was her in the first place, which is the mom of Chips. Chips.
Yeah,
Chips.
and Chip. And if you don't remember, Chip was also apparently a horror movie buff, and he was going to make a film as well. And apparently, the grandmaster scheme of that was to, unalive someone for real.
Mm,
Groundbreaking, innovative, never
mm,
been done. Give me a break.
mm. Well, and that's a big issue for me. It's infuriating because you couldn't even you couldn't even actually point to that person because that person was really set up last season, never was set up as a freak, never set up as someone a bit weird. And suddenly we got a flashback when he actually said to Chip, "Oh, you know what we should do? We should kill someone and shoot it for movies." Just like we never had these things happening in the first season. We never saw anything really creepy about him. And now suddenly he's actually this mastermind who created all these things. First of all, how did he manage to actually get all these church people to be part of his crew? Never explained. Plus plot hole, does it mean that Henry is part of them, of these people who were actually trying to kill the girls?
And also, we're also forgetting this big plot hole. Was Johnny involved? Why were there so many, dead
Dead
bodies
bodies.
in the freezer?
Maybe a new flavor for the summer. Mm. Who wants some human flesh with a little bit skip of
Mm.
strawberries? But yeah, it didn't make any sense. And this is infuriating for me because really the ending was exciting. The set pieces were really cool. The callback to classic movies, like you sent me these pictures, and show it was shot by shot made to
Oh,
look like a shining scene. That was great. Uh, there was a lot of details. Well, it's true that Midsummer with all the painting in the church and the kind of religious things,
yeah,
but
but also, let's not forget, Midsummer was also the inspiration for the season poster, that I sent you, where it actually
mhm,
shows each Pretty Little Liars sin that they've done.
mm,
So that was cute, I guess.
it was. But when you think about it, why did he want that? What did he want to kill? Oh, because I'm a sad little white boy who actually can't get his film made because there's black women now. Just like,
Yeah, it was just
okay,
so. It would have. I feel like it would have had way more impact had it been Christian.
totally.
I feel like, yeah, it would have stuck more. It would have been like, a very shot, because you've gotten to know Christian. You've gotten to, whether you like him, hate him, or
Mm,
indifferent about him, you still know him. This other guy hasn't even been on a lot of the episodes. He's been on like what, 3 episodes? I don't know.
two or
But
three, yes.
yeah, but it's like, I don't care that he's a killer. It was just like, oh, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I was just like when he started to bring the black survivor thing last episode, and he was just like, "Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. That's definitely Christian." When they found a mask in his room, when they called the cinema before and they never heard of Christian, all these things pointed out about him, and
And
he's
by
just like,
the way, we still didn't get any answers about that.
"I know," and, and he's just like, "Oh, come on." And then we got this thing that doesn't make any sense apparently. Oh yes, Archie died during a riot in the prison, and suddenly at the end of the episode he come back. Surely they must have done a count of people in the prison to know there's someone missing. I don't know, just like
Yes.
it's so weird to me.
And they took out Dr. Sullivan. But
Which I should have been for, part of the bloody plan. I'm sorry.
it makes sense for her to be involved. Like, I really don't, I don't get it. But
It wouldn't make
uh,
sense because she's watching a book, and it would be actually really good to
yeah, like,
actually have actually a study about survivors, but actually making them go through these things again to actually be able to write a book really in the moment. And that's what I was looking at it.
yeah, it was just so infuriating because there's so many missed opportunities.
Mm,
But I
um,
will say, I feel like Kelly's storyline started off really good, but it
Mm,
ultimately went nowhere. I guess I don't know.
mm. They
And
should
it's
actually,
so
they should.
there's
Sorry, go
so
on.
many plot holes left, and I get that in the original Pretty Little Liars, this was the thing. Like, oh, let's make this random plot twist that'll confuse everybody, and you kind of just went with it because you were just like, oh, it had this little charm, but for this 8 episode series, no, I'm sorry, it makes no sense. Like,
Mm.
why? How did they get the information? How was Johnny involved? Why were their bodies in the freezer? Why was there this server that was hosting creepypasta in the movie theater and nobody noticed? Like, what?
While nobody noticed and someone was building a cabin in the wood with all these people, have you seen the cabin? You look, he's been there for years. And it's been built there, and nobody actually bat an eyelid. Just like, oh, there's a new thing that appeared. No, apparently it's part of the story. Plus, let's not forget that the legend of Bloody Rose was created by Mouse. At the beginning, she mentioned that.
Yeah, it would have made
Uh,
sense. It would have made sense for it to be also one of the girls, like you
mm,
said, Mouse. It could have been Mouse. And let's be honest, Tabby was the only one that hadn't had a trial up until like what the final episode.
mhm.
It could have been Tabby. Like she could have just I don't know had a mental break. Wanting to make a very good horror movie. She just wanted to
But the fact
to
that
do that. I
Tabby,
don't know.
the fact that Tabby actually was the last one who didn't have a trial really pointed again on Christian, who kept mentioning horror movie all the time. Suddenly, the guy is actually making all these horror masks, and we found a horror mask of Bloody Rose for some reason. Like, who look exactly like the Bloody Rose we see killing people. Like, is he making the mask or is he buying it on eBay? Because at one point we need to wonder why both of them look the same. You see what I mean? Just like there's a lot, it really feel that they change their mind on the killer at the last minute because it doesn't hold to scrutiny. Like the theater manager who's supposed to be the killer, they went to his house and what did they see? They actually see mask, but it was terrible mask. And you're gonna tell me that despite the fact it's terrible mask, he managed to do a realistic mask of the dead mother of Imogen.
Yes,
There was so many stuff.
I know they really dropped the ball. I mean, I feel like the episode itself it was good. It's just like
Mm.
who the killer was. It made no sense.
Mm,
It really made no sense. It's just like okay, and I feel like it was like a cheap get out. Like maybe you've written yourself into a corner.
mm.
you know?
No,
like
exactly. Because really, the way he was shot, I will not actually say anything bad about the way he was shot. It was exciting. Some of the set pieces were great. The church set was really creepy and really interesting, even though it didn't make any sense. Because I still don't understand why all these people from the church would actually become a part of the cult of Bloody Rose. Doesn't make any sense to me. And plus, I mean that Henry would have known about the cult as well because he was part of the church in the first place. So this thing doesn't make any sense to me.
plot hole after plot hole after plot hole.
Exactly.
I'll say maybe they're leaving all these open ended to answer them in season three. Maybe, but let's talk about season three because we saw a little bit of a teaser of what might happen in season three. So we've got something very reminiscent of one of the fun films, what I like to call bubblegum horror.
Hmm.
Sugar and Spice. We got this mass scene that's kind of similar shot by shot from that as well,
Hmm.
and but each of these girls, I guess, are they have like a mask representing each little liar, and you see them walking down the hall like they're about to terrorize something. So, could that be the next season if it gets renewed? But
Mm. They did mention that actually they wanted to go into this idea that okay, Spooky Spaghetti closed down, but some people are really annoyed that this is happening, so they want to take revenge. So that could have been this girl that we see. Which I really love the ending. I really love the feeling of this girl going to school with a mask, even though the mask again doesn't make any sense because okay, who's actually where do you buy this mask? I'm sorry, but where do you buy this mask?
And that's when we learn that there's more people making masks and that Christian is somehow involved. Oh, stay tuned for
Hmm.
season 3.
Yeah, but overall, so what would you say about this season overall? What
I
would
like
you
this.
actually say?
I like the season. I like all the callbacks to horror movies. I didn't like who the killer was, and there were definitely slow episodes where I think
Mm,
we could have done without. You could have replaced it with something better, like the whole Noah and her boyfriend arc. I was like, they didn't even care enough to even wrap it up at the last
mm.
episode. Was he even in the last episode? I don't think he was.
It was supposed to
Uh,
be they cut him off because he was just not working with the rest of the town.
yeah, and it was just I don't know. The whole Jen mystery, I still don't know anything about Jen. She's been introduced, I guess, as a close friend now or love interest, whatever. But we still don't know why she was at this big ass house and her father called the
Mm,
cops on her. We don't know why there were bodies in the freezer. Was because Johnny and Imogen are the ones, stocking the freezer, so or getting things out of the freezer. So,
mm.
why did he not notice that?
I
and
know. Well, they would have never known if there was if there was still pecan ice cream
yeah,
because that's the reason why they
and
found out. It was beyond the pecans.
and what is Kelly's? Why does Kelly's mom act so weird about the girl that went missing? The one where they were having like what a slut off or something in the beginning. Why
Mm-hmm.
does Kelly mom act so suspicious about that? Like
Mm-hmm.
she acted so suspicious.
Mm, exactly.
What? I don't know. I like
Uh,
all in all, the presentation was on point. All the callbacks on point. Some of the characters could have did without, and I feel like it could have made the show go more cohesive because there was a
mm,
lot of characters that I feel like were just waiting to be you know.
mm.
but
I think for me, the fact is we only have 8 episodes. We need to actually call characters. And the entire thing about the 8 people working as Coast Guard in a swimming pool that actually could have been under with one person doesn't make any sense to me. Uh, but yeah, presentation on point. Some missed opportunity in a lot of messages they were doing. It really felt that they were bringing things without having callback before or afterwards, which was annoying to me. First episode was really a letdown to me, and the last episode, despite amazing show, an amazing set design, amazing way of they actually shoot it, the ending was disappointing completely for me. Infuriating because it didn't make any sense. Love the humor. I really love the fact they didn't take them so seriously, and there's some quotable things all the time in that thing, which is so cool. Did they succeed in what they wanted to do? Mm, they definitely call back to the old show, but it deserved, I think, 22 episodes because they saying like the Bloody Rose cult should have been actually mentioned more and used more during the entire
yeah,
season. Damn.
I mean,
Uh,
even if it wasn't, even if there were just like 22 episodes, it's too much. I would have settled for 13 episodes. I don't know.
mm,
Like, I feel like we need a little bit more time with
mm,
these characters because now we're not going to see them again for 2 years. Like, keep in mind here, these people are 24 and 25 already playing 16-year-olds. So
mm,
this big gap, between
mm.
seasons is
I
probably
don't know.
not the best idea.
And let's be honest, does the character of Archie really that interesting?
Mm.
The good thing about A in the original series was actually A was a mastermind. A was actually plotting in the background. Archie is just a brute.
Oh, Archie.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, Oh, David, why are you wearing that wig, by the way?
Because I did send this episode, as you know. Should I wear a wig if I got it wrong? And I got it wrong, but it's not my fault. They tricked me. They tricked me. But mm, I think I can,
You can
it's
pull it off,
giving
yeah.
80s, I can pull it off. You're giving 80s like rock band, so pretty cool. Mm.
Okay, calm down, Still Panther. Now, so let us know what you think in the comments. David, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, let me know how good I look in that wig.
Okay, well, I see you guys here in the next video on this channel, and as always, you can like, subscribe. It always helps the channel grow, unless YouTube, say, hey, they're not trash, So,
They're not. We slay.
yeah, all day. All right, see you guys next time.
Bye bye.